All right. Hello, all you beautiful, wonderful, amazing tea people. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful, amazing, spectacular day. I've got some really fun pomelo experiments today. So we got pomelo experiments. So these are all things that were stuck in the pomelo sort of roaster space thing. We just stuck them in together. And so now I'm going to actually try them out and taste them. Now I'm looking and I'm realizing the last couple of weeks have just been absolutely insane, which is a huge thank you to everybody out there. Thank you so much. I finally done it. Finally packed up everything from the pomelo release on the weekend, the sale, everything's all done. So I just really want to say thank you very much, everybody. It's been, if you don't want to buy anything for the next couple of days, I'll be okay. I won't cry. I need a break. But I just want to say thank you. Of course, thank you so much. The support was amazing, and it's fun to see. There's some people out there who are there. So remember, during the sale, we had the five. If your order number ended in 5, you got like a free cake, and so some people have been getting their presents in, and it seems like shipping's been fast, or maybe I've just been busy. It seems like shipping's been fast, but maybe it was just busy. Anyways, these are the winners. Now, what I did this spring. You guys know every year there is the pomelo fragrance scenting time period. And it's a very short time period. Well, this year, we did something kind of special. We got a bunch of pomelo flowers and we froze them. So right now there's a freezer in Raceway, big, huge freezer. And the freezer is full of freshly picked pomelo flowers, which is pretty amazing because that means that, I'm going to go through these. I got to go through these a couple times. I haven't actually gone back to have any more. These are from, I think, last week. So I haven't really gone back to have any more of these. But I will, and basically what these are all the winners, right? So these are all the winners. But I showed up one day right in the middle of when the pomelo fragrance oolongs were being made, and I backed up my car and I had all these samples from all these different teas. So for example, this one right here, this is the Alishan milk oolong, right? So there's the Alishan milk oolong, and I had one of these. So amazing. And so I just brought them all and I just showed up and I'm like, stick them in, let's experiment. And so that's what we did. And here, I'll just show you this. So this, if you do decide to get some of these, you can see all of the stems coming out on these. The stems are coming out on these because during the re-roasting time period, some of the greenish oolongs, because they still have moisture in them, they dry out and then they go, and then they sort of disengage from their stems. Anyways, that's why there's the stems there. And this is the Sancha Green. So the Sancha Green, I tried that too. And we'll talk about all these in a minute. And we'll talk about how it's done. But the Sancha Green was okay. It worked out okay. Now, I tried everything. So what have I got here? These are the 4 ones that were sort of like the winners, if I remember correctly. Now, again, I've only tried these once. I tried them last week. And then I've been literally working so hard. If I had a day off, then I'm going to the Lotus Pond with my family. I've been working so hard. Anyways, I guess we went to the hot spring as well, but I didn't really enjoy the hot spring as much as I should have because Anyways, the point is that these were the winners from the experiment. So what did we do? Again, went to Raceway. I had all these different types of teas. I just grabbed a bag of a bunch of I had over 10 different random types of tea. And we went there and I was like, okay, let's see what happens when you put Shanlinchi Master Roast in with the pomelo flowers. Let's see what happens when you get Sancha Green in with the pomelo flowers. What happens when you get the number 8 Asamaka in with the pomelo flowers, right? That's this one here. That one's the Alishan Milk Oolong, and this one here is the Sancha Green. Now, just take a look what happened. You can see the color. Oh, I guess, I don't know. You can sort of see it sort of yellowed out. Anyways, what happens? Well, you put them in, you put them on the trays. Now, this is not quite boiling water. This is a little bit less. Scented Shanlinshi Master Roast. Yeah, man, it worked. Anyways, I tried it once and it worked. But I'm going to try it again right now, and we're going to try all these out. And like I said earlier in the live stream, what I did was I actually froze, or we froze a bunch of the lotus flowers. So whatever works, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it again. So whatever works, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to buy like huge bags of this stuff and bring them down. I'm actually looking to try and get help with have my buddies who make the tea to say, hey, listen, I want to try this. I want to do it too. And so that we can actually do these scenting programs with teas from the actual tea masters from all over the island. Now, scented teas. Should we go into scented teas? Okay. So in general, scented teas have a low, scented teas have a very low reputation. That is absolutely 100% justified. You should not be scenting the best teas. They don't need scent unless you're sort of like me, who's a crazy experimental guy who wants to try all these things and gets excited about it. And I have a lot of tea, right? So I am not taking really good tea and then spritzing horrible chemicals on it and then saying, oh, this is Pomelo, candy cane, oolong, whatever, right? That's not what this is. This is taking the pinnacle of scenting in Taiwan. And I've tried all the different scents. I'm telling you right now, the Pomelo fragrance oolongs are the pinnacle of that blast. You open the bag and you just go, boom. There is nothing that comes even remotely close. I've tried. If you can try something, I've tried it, right? That's it. And then taking the pinnacle of agrochemical grown teas, right? This one right here, for example, is the Spring Pear Mountain, right? And that'll go for sale, so you guys can try that out as well. Because I made enough of it, about 1 kilogram of it. And scenting it in the best possible way, right? The best possible way. No chemicals, just literally fresh flowers in, again, these special machines, right? So I've talked about it before, but they are a mix between a roaster and a dehumidifier. And so when they put the teas in, right, you got a tea, you put the tea here, flowers, tea, flowers, just like this, up and down, right? And then you stick it in there, and then you put on the dehumidifier, and you put the temperature to about 60 degrees, and you leave it in for a day and a half. And so there's a fan in there just going, oh, just like this. And you're taking out the moisture, and you're also just going, oh, like that, and the tea's in there. And that's how they scent these teas, in a very, very specific and special machine. And the water that comes out, they actually sell the water that comes out. That's how crazy it is, right? So they literally sell the water that comes out. Is that Sanchai Green getting really dark really fast? Okay, so what happens is with all of these is if it's a greener tea, you're roasting it way too long, you're toasting it. Now, it's only 60 degrees. When you're roasting a tea, you're usually at 80, 90, something like that. With these teas, you're just roasting it at 60 degrees, but it takes away the freshness. So, for example, this tea here, which is the Sanxia Green, it was super interesting, but I would never do it with large amounts. Never. I would never do it with large amounts, unless it was sort of leftover tea or something like that, right? If it was leftover tea, okay, whatever. But I'm not going to be doing that with fresh tea because it takes the freshness out because you're roasting it too much, right? This Sancha green tea is literally dried. It's not roasted. It's just dried, right? It wilted, kill green, goes in the dryer. That's it. That's all it is. And we'll get into tasting these. And so we'll go through and we'll start talking about these a little bit. Now, before I get started with this, please keep in mind what I'm doing right now is crazy. This is the equivalent of eating huge pieces of cheesecake. That's what I'm doing right now. And when I did this at my buddy's place, there's the smell of pomelo flowers everywhere. Outside, it's like pomelo orchards. We're drinking all of these teas, and we're just there, like going, "Oh, it's good! Oh. Like it's literally the equivalent of sitting here with a huge piece. It's like cheesecake tasting. The senses, what's coming off of this right now is, again, what I mentioned before, this smell of pomelos, which is a punch in the face. Boom! Like pomelo flowers, right? And so what I'm doing right now, you're probably not going to want to do this. I'll be selling some of these teas, but you probably want to not have them all at the same time. It's certainly not like this. It's extreme. It's extreme what I'm doing right now. But, what do they say? Doing it for the gram. No, I'm doing it because I really want to get in touch. I want my friends who make these teas to get in touch with my friends who do the pomelos, and I want to create some really special, fun things. I really do, because it's not very many people know that you're able to do this. Anyways, here we go. And so this green one works, but the pomelo flowers, it's just too strong. It's too strong for this tea. Now, in general, the way it works is the more roughed up and sort of fresh the leaves are, the more the pomelo flowers, again, how it's not all these flowers, the air is moving like this. Now, I tried to do it with an older Ruby 18. It didn't work. All right, so I tried to do it with an older Ruby 18. It didn't work at all. It sucked. Right, it was just terrible. The flowers just didn't go into the Ruby 18. It didn't make it all the way in. I tried it with 2020 Wooey Black Tea. That didn't work as well. But this one, if I remember correctly, this one works pretty well. So with this one, this fresh green tea, it's almost like it overpowers the green tea. Well, it's not almost like, it does. It absolutely 100% overpowers this fresh green tea. It's just too powerful. Right? It just overpowers it. It just goes, right? It's just too much. It's just too much. And it takes away the power of the green tea, which is too bad. And it's not like that green tea is subtle, right? It's not like a subtle green tea, right? That's not what that green tea is. It just overpowers it. Now I'm going to fill this up. This one here is the Assamica Red Oolong. So this is the Assamica Red Oolong. I tried the green tea before, but I didn't realize just how much it didn't work. So I thought it was one of the winners, but it's not. So I'm going to go experimenting with this one. See, this one's very, very light. That one didn't work out very well. Anyways, we're gonna try it out and see how it goes. Now, this one, the next one, was an absolute winner, like winner to the nth degree when I tried it the other day, right? So when we tried it the other day, it was absolutely a winner. It was a winner on a pretty crazy level. It was just the winner, right? It was just the winner. But let's try it out this time. Now, again, these have been sitting for about, I should stop saying again, these have been sitting for about 2 weeks. No, a week? I can't remember. Maybe 10 days. No, a week. Last week. Yeah, they've been sitting for about a week. And yeah, this works. So this is the Alishan Firefly Milk Oolong. The winter tea. And oh wow, this is so good. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. So what you get with this one is you get the pomelo blast in the upfront, right? Just boom, pomelos. then it melds into creamy, milky, sweet, beautiful Alishan milk oolong. And what this is doing, is it adding to it? I mean, all of these teas are so amazing by themselves, right? It's not like they're, you're taking a mediocre tea and making it a decent tea. Right? That's not what this is doing. This is literally a gorgeous tea mixed with a gorgeous scent, and you're getting these two things together. And so what you're getting is you're getting cheesecake. You're getting cheesecake, right? You're literally getting cheesecake. This is the equivalent of, like milk chocolate, creamy cheesecake. Is Alishan Jinchuan what you expected to work? That would be my guess with no real experience. It was sort of the one that I thought was going to work, mostly because the what we usually mix it with, right? So it's almost sold out. I mean, you guys are. I put it up for sale on Sunday. I bought as much as I could, and it's almost sold out. So if you want Pomelo fragrance milk oolong, you got to get on it. I think there's only like 400 or 500 grams left. But that's what it's originally made with, but it's made with a lower elevation milk oolong. And so it's made with a low elevation milk oolong that is a little more vegetal, right? So it mixes really well. I actually sort of, it's on the same par of this, even though the oolong itself is not, because it's got more vegetal to it. But this is, this was just going to be the best. And this month's subscription box is one of these teas as well, for the mystery tea. I won't tell you which one. No spoiler alert needed there. Now, this is the number 8 Asamaka. So this is like the best Lipton-esque tea in Taiwan, bar none. I've never come across anything that comes even close to this in the sense of that Lipton flavor, right? This is it right here. And when I tried it before, I remember it worked quite well. And the reason it worked quite well was because the black tea leaves, because they're fresh black teas, but they're also super high quality, like just the highest quality you can imagine of these beautiful black teas. So super high quality. And the leaves mixed up together and they melded together, and it worked really, really well. So the leaves got together with the smell, and it worked really, really well. Whereas most black teas, they don't, mostly because they're kind of too hard. They're produced in a way that doesn't. Black teas are generally speaking not produced at the same level of quality as the Sun Moon series of teas that I have on the site: the Ruby 18, the number 8, and the Wild Cultivar. And this is a winner. This is such a winner. This is so good. This is so good. It's so good. And it's, right, so you got the sort of the Asamaka black tea. And then you've got the wispiness over top of it of the pomelo flowers. And so this tea is, again, it's Asamaka, right? It is, I'll stop saying again, it's the Asamaka. It's got Lipton flavor, right? Just, that's what it is. It's got Lipton flavor infused with pomelo flowers. And it works. It works because this has no floral. I mean, if you really, really push it hard, I guess you could say in the background there might be some little floaty around little bits of floral, but you're pushing it. That's like Mayleaf style of tasting notes. They're not really, they're very subtle. But what you're looking at with these, you're looking at a tea that is like just the strongest example of a strong boom. This flavor tea, right? Asamaka, Lipton. You add that on top, and it's mixing around, melding, and going through in such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way. It's great. This is like, that works out really, really well. I think I'm going to get at least a couple kilograms of that made because it's just so much fun, right? Asamaka teas scented with pomelo flowers. They're just fun. It's fun. If it works, it's so much fun. And I'll get some of that made for sure. Okay, so now we are at the second to last, and we are at this one, the Shanlinshi Master Roast. Now, what is Shanlinshi Master Roast? That is a greenish, sort of mid-oxidized greenish tea that is heavily, heavily roasted to create this double flavor profile, right? The upfront flavor profile is super rich and roasty. Then you go into the background, you get that floral fruitiness that's so unique to this tea, and that aftertaste lingers forever. It just lasts and lasts and lasts. That's so fascinating to hear about the Asamaka. Oh, it's fun. It's fun. The Asamaka is really great fun. So let's go into this one, see what happens here. Yep. So this is exactly what happened last time. When you first try it, the roast and the flowers fight each other. It's not that much fun in the upfront. And then what happens is the aftertaste goes together and they meld and get milky and thick and beautiful. And they get milky, thick mouthfeel in the background. And then the aftertaste is like nothing I've ever had in a tea before. And that's exactly what's going on in this. Now, a lot of these too, I should be doing this Gong Fu style. These should be done 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Drinking them like this is literally the equivalent of me taking palmfuls of cheesecake with icing on top and going, oh, I can taste the icing. Like that's literally what I'm doing here. These flavors, there's nothing subtle about the flavors. There's nothing that's developing about the flavors. These things are, like taking a birthday cake and going like this. It's got, oh, that's good icing. That's it. There's nothing subtle. But you could brew these in spectacularly subtle, smooth ways to draw out the flavors of them. All right. Now, you don't really want to be brewing these in clay. And there it is. There's this weird flavor. I don't even know how to describe this flavor. It is roasted, yet still fresh somehow. Roasted and fresh pomelo flowers with a beautiful Shanlinshi mouthfeel and fruit in the background. It's fascinating and so much fun. It is fascinating, and these two are so fascinating and so much fun. Now, this one over here, I think what I'm going to do this spring is I'm just going to do with this one is I'm just going to buy like a ton of it. I'm just going to buy a huge amount of it and then roast it and then just call it Pomelo Fragrance Milk Oolong, Alishan Pomelo Fragrance Milk Oolong or something like that, because it works. It works amazingly well. It's extremely beautiful. The underlying oolong in there is a gorgeous oolong to begin with. The second steep, it's mixing together better. It tastes better. And again, this is a little tough for, stop saying again. This is a little tough for me because I'm still suffering a little bit up my nose here from this cold that I got on the weekend from overwork. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for overworking me. My family and I appreciate it greatly. We had steak last night. Our household is a strange one. My oldest son is fascinated by money, and so we count how much every meal costs. Right? So every meal. So last night we had steak, and so it was an expensive meal. which he does the electricity, he does the cost, how much time to cook it and all that stuff. Anyways, it was a celebratory meal for everybody helping out with the sale. Now this is interesting. This one here is the excuse me. This one here is the Asamaka Red Oolong. And it didn't really get very much of the floral scent at all. Like hardly at all. It was in there the same amount as the other people. So glad the sale went well. Yes, me too. And there's a couple different reasons why. Mostly this tea, I think, was from the winter, so it's a little bit older. It's not the freshest of the tea. It's not old. It just gets better with age, this one. But it's not super fresh. It was from, I don't know, November, something like that. And tightly rolled and darker. And so the pomelo floral fragrance didn't really get into this one very much. Now it's there, but it's certainly not as dramatic or as fun as this one, which is the same cultivar made into a black tea. And this one's just so much fun. It's so much fun. I really should. I gotta send these teas. Next week, one of my plans is to send these teas to all the various people and say, hey, you want me to hook you up? I got some of these flowers in the freezer. You want me to hook you up? I got the white stuff in the freezer. You want it? I can hook you up. And ideally, what I'd love to do is be able to, they send 10 kilograms of tea, we send 8 kilograms of tea back, and then I can keep the tea and sell it, and something like that. I think I'd love to do that. Yeah, so this is the Asamaka that has the flowers just right in. Isn't that interesting? It works so much better. So much better. It really does. It works so much better. And this one, oh, it's hard to tell. Again, handful after handful of cheesecake. And now it's hard for me to tell the difference. Now, I was going to do this. Here, check this out. This is fun. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before, but this is Taiwanese tea snacks, right? So this is it, Taiwanese tea snacks. And Taiwanese tea snacks, what this is I'm sure they cook it in like salt water, but these are pumpkin seeds, big old pumpkin seeds, and they cook them in salt water, so they're super salty. And then you crack them open like that. You take out the seed. If you want, you can suck on these. They're like super, super salty, but it's also sweet. So it's like salty and sweet, and it goes perfect with tea. Perfect. It's sort of like a palate cleanser as well. And if you look in here, I mean, I don't eat it, but you can. They also have sort of lower quality greenish teas or lower quality oolong teas, things like that. And then they put it right in there. So you can put you stick a mouthful in there. When I was younger, I used to go fishing all the time, and we used to have, basically they were MSG sunflower seeds, but you just sit there and eat MSG and get a little bit high and eat your sunflower seeds. But this is the equivalent for tea. With the lack of rolling having such an impact, would you ever try unrolled oolong for scenting? Kind of doubly floral at that point. Well, it's something to think about. But the thing is with it's not just rolling. And it's a good question. So for example, the greenish oolongs, they're rolled quite tightly, but they still have a little bit of moisture left, and they still have the ability to sort of open up and respond to the roastingness and open up a little bit. The higher oxidized teas don't. So the teas that are higher oxidized, they don't have that option. They don't have that issue. They don't have that going on for the higher oxidized teas. I do love these things. Oh yeah, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to cleanse my palate so I can go back into these teas and be like, oh, icing again, because I'm not telling the difference between these teas anymore. It's all up my nose. They're overpowering. They're overpowering teas. They're just crazy. And maybe we should go back to the question. You have to find that dividing line, because I showed you the green tea, right? So the green tea didn't work because the green tea, basically the flavor was destroyed, right? So it was, even just at 60 degrees, that roast for a short period of time just destroyed the color went off, the real freshness of the tea disappeared, just destroyed the teas. And so you have to find that right dividing line between actually having the flower, the floral nature go into the tea, but not having it too much that it destroys the essential nature of the tea, right? Now, for the greenish tea, maybe we could have tried like just half an hour or something like that on a very low temperature. That might have worked. But in general, they're using the same amount of time for all the things. And that's why, the greenish oolongs work the best. That's why they work the best. And it looks like fresh black tea, and also really freshly. Actually, I don't know why it works. The Shanlinchi Master Roast, I don't know why that worked. Probably because it was a little bit greener when they started the roast, so the oxidization level. But I mean, I'd have to experiment more to see what it was, or it just was susceptible. That's basically all it turned into. Okay, I'm gonna try again. I had some pumpkin seeds. Very medicinal. Pumpkin seeds are. Let's see if it works. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Still kind of just icing. But this is better icing. This one's a little bit better icing. Although I wouldn't say this is bad. Now that I've had a palate cleanser of some sort, this one's a little bit better. It's so much icing. It's so much icing. It's so strong. These flavors are just so strong. Yeah. I think I'm just going to have to go by my first guesses for all of these things. And the second steep with this is so good. Everything about it just works. The first steep's a little bit too strong. The second steep, and this again, the Shanlinchi Master Roast. I'll stop saying again. Milky, roasty, upfront blast of floral, background, going into all that goodness. It's so good. It's so good. Do you have any plans of purchasing more Left Bank Shanlinchi or Master Roast Shanlinchi Left Bank? I wonder how that the one from Paris. No, yes, it's still on the site, and I think it doesn't sell all that well. It doesn't sell all that well, but I'm almost thinking I want to just phone them up and be like, just send me a bunch, because I want to throw the flowers on them. And because it works really, really well. It's pretty amazing. I think with this one for sure, the Alishan Milk Oolong, I'm going to buy more of it and do the flowers. And I think I'm going to do the same with this. I think I'm going to do the same with this. So good. But I almost hesitate because it's already such a good tea. You know, it's taking this cheesecake and adding a big thick layer of icing to the top of the cheesecake. You know, take a beautiful, sweet, thick, gorgeous fruit cheesecake and then taking like butter icing and going. Does it make it better? Perhaps. Perhaps not, depending on your own personal preferences. But I would say there are a lot of people that really enjoy that blast. That blast. The people really do. Okay, I think that's about it for now. There is one person, Mr. CC, who is going to get little samples of all this stuff because he bought a lot. He bought a lot. And yeah, the camera for the... I'm also doing this on YouTube and Facebook, but the camera goes out, doesn't do the right thing sometimes. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so he bought so much of the stuff, and he loves the pomelo stuff. So I'm gonna put little samples together for this so he can try them out. But I will be having some of these. Oops, sorry about that. That was my. Oh, it's doing that. Anyways, whatever. The Instagram died off there. Anyways, I gotta go. And some of this will go out to some people. Anyways, have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next live stream.